Hey everyone, this is Rob from StageandSky.com, and I had to talk about this. I saw it on Instagram, and I don't have the popular opinion here, right? If you see the thousands of comments on that Instagram post, everyone basically agrees: don't ever mess with your money. This is your job. It makes the workplace awkward. It makes it very, there's a lot of good reasons why you wouldn't date someone that you work with. You wouldn't want to date a coworker. There's a lot of good reasons for that, but I'm going to present some arguments that kind of go against that notion, okay? Number one, look at our current culture, our current climate, all right? We had the Me Too movement, and now that's the problem right there, like Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer, they did this with girls that they work with. Sure. But as I mentioned back in 2017 when this was all happening, ladies, be careful about the wave of outrage. If you wash that outrage over the innocent men tend to adapt, I'm not sure if you noticed with gym culture, if you call us creeps, if we see other men getting run through the ringer over things that we used to do, like approach you, oh, this is a beautiful woman, let me go and ask for a number, let me go try to talk to her, oh, you're a creep, unless you look like Brad Pitt and Michael B. Jordan, people are going to stop doing that. In the gyms, at the bar, at the club, at the mall, we just don't approach unless you're a young guy who doesn't know what's going on or have nothing to lose. A lot of us men, especially us men who worked our butts off in our 20s and now are in our 30s, we have a lot to lose, like our jobs, our pensions, our homes, okay? So, where else are we going to meet women? Oh, online dating. Nope, we can't do that. Why?
The man tries to set up the perfect profile. The woman doesn't feel safe sharing a lot of personal information, so she chooses the first picture she can find, and she's ready to go. They start swiping and hope for the best.
Accurate.
At the end of the day, when the woman checks her phone, her like counter is full. Practically every profile she likes is an instant match. Soon, she's overwhelmed by the amount of matches and messages in her inbox. For the man, it's a different story. So far, he has only received a couple of likes and has 0 matches. He becomes frustrated with the app and starts questioning his self-image. He puts so much effort into setting up a nice profile after all. Why can't he get any matches?
A majority of users on those online dating sites are men, right? So like the pool of men and women who are really marriage material. I'm talking about marriage-minded men, right? All you guys, with the whole argument here when it comes to, don't date coworkers, I'm speaking on behalf of marriage-minded men. I'm talking about good Christian men. The men who just want to get hit and quit it, the men who just want to smash, the men who think, she's for recreational use only. Yeah, like that, they have good reason to not do this. They have good reason to not do this. But marriage-minded men, it makes a lot of sense why you would want to date someone who you work with. Why? Because it gives you the perfect environment and atmosphere to really learn this person. And for women, it's the same thing with men. How do you know if this guy's going to be responsible? How do you know if he's going to take care of you, provide for you? The workplace gives you the opportunity to see him in action, right? A lot of us aren't basketball players. A lot of us aren't superstars and entertainers, right? So we excel, like the way you actually see us in action is in our progress, our work. Like, how does he interact with others? How does he handle jobs? How does he handle assignments? Stuff like that. If you see this man working his butt off, he doesn't take time off, he's not calling out, I'm sick, I have a headache. That's a good man. That's a hard worker. He's responsible, right? That's the perfect place. Secondly, as a guy, this is coming from a guy's perspective, a lot of us, especially single men, after I've just told you how the current culture is, a lot of us are workaholics because it takes our mind off of the things that we lack, right? So if you're a single man, we just had Thanksgiving, and I don't have a family, I don't have a wife or children, or the family's out of state, so you're by yourself. Men like that tend to keep their mind focused. There's a quote by President Theodore Roosevelt: "The dark car rarely sits behind a rider whose pace is fast enough." Meaning, for those who don't know the history buff here, Theodore Roosevelt lost his wife and his mom in the same night back in the 1800s before he became president. And to take his mind off of that horrible pain in his heart, just eating and rotting him up, he went to the Wild Wild West. He threw himself into this rough and tumble lifestyle, became like a lawman of sorts. But keeping busy takes his mind off of the fact that he's hurting. And a lot of us guys, I won't say we're hurting, But the fact that we're single, we want to get married, we want to have wife and children. We don't have that. So to keep our mind off of this fact that, oh man, because a lot of women and men, they'll say stuff like, oh, what are you doing to do something about it? What are you doing about it? It's like, there's not a lot we can do. We can't put a gun to a woman's head that we find beautiful and say, hey, I need you to stop all your whore ways, stop having sex before marriage, and get with me. See the responsible, be attracted to this Christian virtue in me. We can't do that. So a lot of it is you just working, and you're on your path, you're working, you're all these red pill arguments that say, oh, you stay driven, stay goal oriented. That's the argument, right? So it boggles my mind when these same guys get mad at you for dating someone you work with, because if you're on your purpose and you're on your grind, chances are you're going to find someone who's in the same, like if you're running this path, you want to get married, you're going to find someone who's also on that path or working, or you cross paths with them, right? So I think it makes a lot of sense for men to get married and find women who they are, working with, whether it's volunteer, whether it's your actual job, or even, I hate to say it, in the gym, you can still find women in the gym. I would say, like, find the regulars, don't find the ones who are, you see them once every other 2 months, but if you find a regular, you make eye contact, you can say hello to them, you build a rapport with them, great. I haven't had that happen with me yet because I tend to find older women, like older women, they have no problem talking to me. Younger women, anyways. All right, so what are the downsides, Rock? Because I can tell you from personal experience that I have dated someone who I worked with, and I liked it. It made all the sense in the world. She was different, though. I always say that she was one of the most intelligent people I ever knew or ever met, and I say that because there's a little bit of arrogance there. Well, why? What made her so intelligent? She saw the value in me. That's what I thought. I'm like, man, she's intelligent. Because even before she met me, she had seen me around at the job. This is when I was 25, 26, 27. She had seen me around in a job, and she actually had receipts when I got with her. Like, she would send me text messages that was timestamped where she would talk to other coworkers, like, who's that big black dude walking by? And she was talking about me. That made me feel like, wow, she's been on me for a while. Like, she's been wanting me for a while. And I dated her, and I loved her to death. It didn't work out. She was a single mom. The child kind of got in the way. And when we broke up, I had to deal with a lot of awkwardness. Here's the deal with that too, because very often people say, oh, well, they make the workplace awkward. Not if you're mature. It does. There are some immature people, you know who you are. I don't want to say a certain gender, but you know who you are, where you carry that attitude, that energy, and everyone has to suffer because of you. If you have a mature disposition, you know how to, okay, I'm here to work. I'm focused on work now. All that romantic stuff, that's in the past. Or she's sitting over there, And when you do see her, you can be, like my stepdad told me this advice. Rock, you don't have to like someone to get along. And I have a lot of practice dealing with people that I don't like, but I get along with them. I'm Christian. There are a lot of people in this world who are not Christian, who are very wicked, who promote a very worldly lifestyle, and I still treat them with love and respect to the point that they think I'm actually their friend. I don't respect them, but I treat them with respect. I love them as Christ tells us to love them, but I don't like them. Outside of work, I don't want to hang out with them. I don't want anything to do with them. But you treat them with love and respect. That's professionalism. That's maturity, right? So my ex-girlfriend, we broke up when I was 27. And for months, sad to say, I can tell you this, fellas. This is because this is the risk that comes along with it. You do have to deal with a certain level of pain when they start dating other people. It broke my heart that we couldn't make it work. I dumped her, and that's another thing too. Because I imagine it was tough on her with her wanting to be with me, and I said, no, I just can't do it. And I saw her with another guy. I called him Mr. Sunshine because he was this Hispanic dude who never smiled. He's one of those machismo. Anyways, he just never smiled. So I called him Mr. Sunshine. I never knew his name. And they tended to cross my path because back then I used to go upstairs and work out every time I used the bathroom to, stay in shape. When you're working a sedentary lifestyle, I would do push-ups. And for some reason, they would go upstairs, cross my path, and I would have to sit there and walk behind them to go back to the stairs, go back to my cubicle. And that was tough. That was rough. And people say, this is why you don't eat where you crap or something like that. And I'm like, no. Honestly, it was worth it. Again, it was unfortunate that things didn't work out, but if I can go back in time, she was beautiful. I learned a lot from her. I think, and even after that, 3 years later when she broke up with Mr. Sunshine, we reconnected again. Went and hung out a couple times. We went to the spa together. I have nothing but love and respect for this girl. I don't date terrible people. That's another thing, and I'll end it with this. I don't date terrible people. Ladies and gentlemen, all you guys who had multiple experiences with bad men, and women, oh man, this woman was like, you are who you attract, right? I wrote in my last essay about, is sex all you bring to the table? I posited this question. If it's true that you keep attracting people with no honor, it could be because you yourself lack honor, right? I don't date bad people. I date good people. It takes a while for me to understand if they're a good person. That takes time. I think the reason why a lot of people have a problem with the whole, oh, you don't date your coworkers, is because they live a very sexually immoral lifestyle, right? What I mean by that is, they're just looking to have sex. Or sex is more important than actually getting to know the person to see if this guy or girl is even marriage material, right? Like, that's a very backwards lifestyle, and it's your fault, ladies and gentlemen. You guys who are part of this generation who engage in this culture, not all, I exist, I don't engage in the culture. I know there are women who exist and don't engage in the culture. But if you're part of the culture and then you get mad and you look at this and like, oh, you don't ever date your coworkers, that's on you. Chances are my future wife will be someone I work with, whether it's at the law firm or the media company, or, some kind of special assignment or volunteer, because I like to work. That's my purpose. Whatever I do, I like to stay focused. I like to stay driven, right? And chances are, as I wrote in my last essay, oh, Rock, but men like to chase, and they like a girl who plays hard to get. I'm like, no, not all of us. Some of us are builders. We stay right where we are and build something for nothing. And the women we get married to are the women who are right there helping us. So that's what I wanted to put out there. The whole, don't eat where you crap, or don't play with, it's just I won't say it's stupid, because it's a risk. You basically have to ascertain and discern whether or not this person is worth the potential backlash that's going to come along with it if things don't work out. Everyone that I've dated, that I worked with, I told myself it was worth it. So when things did go bad, and I did have to deal with the awkward tension, worth it. And no one else around me felt that, because I knew how to handle myself. I'm an adult. A lot of you guys, grow up. All right, that's my thoughts.